The year 2024 brought a slew of highly anticipated game releases, but not every title lived up to expectations. Despite big names, long-awaited sequels, and innovative concepts, several games fell flat, leaving fans and critics alike feeling underwhelmed. From missteps in gameplay mechanics to narrative failures and disappointing technical issues, these games failed to capture the magic of their predecessors or the promise of their initial reveal. In this video, we'll dive into the 10 most disappointing games of 2024, exploring where they went wrong and why they failed to deliver on the hype. So the 10th most disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Funko Fusion. Funko Fusion promised an ambitious level of crossover content comparable to popular titles like Fortnite, but it was the unique selection of franchises that initially set it apart. Early reveals featuring properties like Back to the Future and Invincible created high expectations for a cohesive and exciting experience. Unfortunately, as the roster expanded, it became increasingly disjointed, with little connection between the included franchises. However, this lack of thematic unity was only a small part of the game's larger issues. Funko Fusion struggled with a lack of gameplay variety, which was further exacerbated by numerous technical problems. These flaws combined to create a disjointed experience that critics found difficult to redeem. And the 9th most disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Alone in the Dark. The 2024 Alone in the Dark was envisioned as a revival of the 1992 classic, a game that laid the groundwork for the survival horror genre. Over the years, the series introduced innovations that pushed the genre forward, though the most recent installment prior to this, Alone in the Dark Illumination, faced harsh criticism. The latest entry aimed to redeem the franchise, blending nostalgia for longtime fans with modernized elements inspired by recent Resident Evil remakes, including a shift in camera perspective. However, the revival fell short, failing to meet expectations from critics, fans, and financially. This disappointing performance ultimately led to the closure of its developer, Pieces Interactive, by its parent company, Embracer Group. And on number 8, we have LEGO Horizon Adventures. LEGO games have long been a cornerstone of the gaming industry, especially popular among younger audiences. Beyond that, many players who grew up with these games remain loyal to the series, eagerly anticipating new releases. However, LEGO Horizon Adventures struggled to resonate with either group. The decision to adapt a game like Horizon into the LEGO format seemed ill-suited, failing to translate the essence of Horizon Zero Dawn's expansive open world into engaging LEGO-style gameplay. The result was a game that felt uninspired, with limited level design that lacked the depth and excitement fans have come to expect from both the Horizon and LEGO franchises. And the 7th most disappointing game of 2024 is Concord. From both a commercial and critical perspective, Concord was one of the year's most notable failures. Despite its engaging gameplay, many fans criticized the character designs, and the steep $40 price tag proved to be a major drawback. In a market dominated by free-to-play games like Overwatch 2 and Apex Legends, the pricing strategy deterred many potential players. This was particularly unfortunate given the game's evident potential. However, Concord was shut down just 2 weeks after its release, making it completely unplayable. The fallout also led to the closure of its developer Firewalk Studios shortly thereafter. And the 6th most disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Multivers. For those who may have lost track of its development, Multivers might seem like an unexpected contender. The Game Awards named it Best Fighting Game of 2022 during its early access phase, and it earned another nomination in 2024 after its full release. However, this recognition sparked controversy within the fighting game community. While Multivers showed promise early on, it also faced significant issues, many of which worsened after launch, particularly in areas like balancing and progression. These persistent problems have left fans disappointed, and despite being free to play, the game has struggled with underwhelming sales. Still, there remains hope that it could rebound with the right adjustments. And on number 5, we have Silent Hill, the short message. Silent Hill is one of the most iconic horror franchises, and excitement always surges with the announcement of a new installment. This was especially true after the series' decade-long hiatus, which ended with the release of Silent Hill Ascension in 2023. The momentum continued into 2024, largely due to the highly successful Silent Hill 2 remake. However, preceding the remake was Silent Hill: The Short Message, which failed to garner the same level of acclaim. With its intentionally small scope, The Short Message faced a high bar it couldn't quite meet. While its brief runtime was clearly communicated, this led to repetitive gameplay and dialogue that quickly wore thin. Still, the game offered a glimpse of how Silent Hill could evolve in the modern era. Despite its flaws, The Short Message laid a foundation that a future installment could build upon. And on number 4, we have Slither Head. Slither Head generated excitement, primarily due to the involvement of Keiichiro Toyama, creator of Silent Hill. With its terrifying monster designs and fluid action inspired by Silent Hill and Gravity Rush, the game seemed poised for success. However, the final product fell short, with only 26% of critics recommending it on OpenCritic. The game struggled to balance action and horror, leaving both elements feeling lackluster. Combat lacked impact, scares felt shallow, and the mission and level design failed to impress. While features like rarities showed potential, they ultimately didn't stand out, leaving Slither Head unable to live up to its promising premise. And the third most disappointing game of 2024 is Skull and Bones. Following the success of Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, the demand for pirate games soared. However, Skull and Bones failed to seize the opportunity, bogged down by a development cycle that began in 2013 and was plagued by numerous directional shifts. As its release finally neared, Ubisoft's CEO controversially touted it as the company's first quadruple-A game. This claim was met with skepticism, which the game's lackluster performance only reinforced. Rather than embracing the rich pirate fantasy fans craved, Skull and Bones leaned heavily into ship mechanics, neglecting the elements that made Black Flag a classic. Once a highly anticipated title, it has instead become a cautionary tale, unable to meet the decade-long expectations of its audience. And the second most disappointing game of 2024 is South Park: Snow Day. Between the Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole, South Park had built an impressive reputation with its video game adaptations, making the release of South Park: Snow Day all the more disappointing. The game fell short in several areas, including its uninspired story, but its most significant flaw was its detachment from the essence of South Park itself. The humor in Snow Day felt more like a hollow imitation of the show's trademark crude comedy, lacking the sharp wit that fans had come to expect. Instead, it leaned on repetitive, lowbrow jokes. The gameplay also failed to impress, with many critics noting a sharp drop in depth compared to the more inventive gameplay of its predecessors. And the last most disappointing game of 2024 on our list is Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. The Arkham series has long been a fan favorite, with the original trilogy widely regarded as one of the best single-player experiences in gaming. After nearly a decade since the conclusion of the Batman Arkham trilogy, the announcement of Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League as a multiplayer looter shooter grabbed attention. However, the excitement quickly turned into widespread disappointment. Fans had eagerly anticipated a follow-up to Arkham Knight, but Suicide Squad was a dramatic departure from that expectation. The shift in tone and character portrayal left many feeling the game was disrespectful to the beloved franchise. The gameplay also failed to impress, requiring excessive grinding and offering little that couldn't be found in more refined titles like Destiny 2. So, which game of 2024 do you consider the biggest disappointment? Let us know in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.